This is Mark with iGeek, and I'm here at the Victory Point booth at BGGCon 2016, and I am here with Alex Berry, the creator of High Treason, The Trial of Louis Riel. How are we doing, Alex?
Good, doing great, Mark.
Show us through the through this game that you've created.
Okay, so it's a jury trial game. It's 2 players, plays in about 40 minutes, and it's all the way from jury selection to the jury back in the jury room, just deliberating.
Okay.
So the first thing you do is you're going to seed the jury. So there's going to be 12 people in the jury pool, and then we're going to actually reduce it down to 6. I know that's kind of unusual, but that's what happened here in this trial. So we're going to take all the markers here. It's all mixed up.
So it's random draw.
It's random draw. And so each jury, they've got different strength deliberation points, and there's different spaces basically for sway for them to get locked over to your side. So we basically set everything up here with all their markers, and it's kind of once you know what you're doing, it's pretty quick to actually set it up.
Sure.
And then you're also so there is basically each juror has 3 different traits.
Okay.
They have a religion, which is just Protestant or Catholic.
Sure.
A language, which is either English or French, and then an occupation, which is either a farmer, a merchant, or a government employee.
Now, are each one of these traits going to sway these jurors one way or the other?
Yeah.
Now, Louis Riel, what was he as far as religion is concerned?
So he was a French Catholic.
Okay.
And so what happened in history is the government deliberately moved the trial from a place with a lot of French Catholics to more English Protestants.
Okay.
To try and rig the jury.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of simulated here in the game a bit. So what happens is there's these traits. So throughout the trial, players are going to be playing cards that make, for instance, merchants more likely to convict him or less likely to convict him.
Okay. What was his occupation? Does that have any play in this?
I mean, he was kind of just a political leader.
Okay.
He was a school teacher but he really became a political leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got, now what are these guys right here, the red and blue?
So these are sway markers. So blue is innocent and red's guilt.
Okay.
Okay, and that's just for... So there's always going to be a few trait markers left over. So
these are all face down.
Yes, they're all face
down.
Okay. We don't know what they are here.
And as we learn about these people, we will find out who they are? Okay.
Exactly. So there's some cards that will help you reveal it to everyone, and some it's like you've got a unique insight as the trial attorney.
Okay.
So looks like it's all set up here. So what happens is we're each going to get 7 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are your 7.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's say, are you the prosecutor or the defense attorney?
Okay, so I'd be the prosecution. Let's say that.
Okay, so then you would go first. You're playing a card for the yellow jury selection event.
Oh, at the very top.
Yes.
And as I was mentioning to you earlier, I like the breakdown of the color coding and how it feels a little bit like Churchill. How Churchill was, they set their cards up very similarly, and this is excellent way to do this.
Yeah.
So that it's all corresponds with the color that it's supposed to be dealing with, and that seems
right. And then
very helpful.
It's kind of like, so if you're in jury selection, you've got this. Okay, we're currently in jury selection. It's yellow. It matches, and it's just kind of an easy way to track through the 5 phases of the game.
Very cool.
So, for instance, let's say you chose to play this card here, Hilliard Mitchell. So you get to now reveal either 3 occupation or 3 language traits.
Okay. And it's one or the other. I couldn't do like both.
Correct.
And you would there ever be a card that would allow me to do both?
Yeah, some of them do.
Okay.
So that's...
One occupation and a language. Okay,
exactly.
Very cool. So then I'd be able to flip over and reveal these guys' leanings?
Right. So for instance, let's say you've done this and you're doing 3 occupations, for instance. So we flip these 3 guys. So as the prosecution, you know that merchants are more favoring you.
Okay.
And farmers more favor me as the defense.
Okay.
Because, Louis Riel kind of fought for farmers' rights.
Sure.
And so when we're finished with the jury selection and we're taking turns striking jurors, because we're each going to kick 3 jurors.
Okay.
So we want to have as much information on them and then kind of take an educated guess on is this guy going to be helpful. So you may want to strike him,
Right.
but maybe he's actually an English Protestant because you
Gotcha.
just don't know enough information at this point. So we'll take turns. We're going to play 5 cards each, alternating, and then we've revealed most of the traits of the jury, but not all of them.
Okay.
And then we're taking turns making an educated guess.
Right. So we're having to decide whether or not this person is going to be a good person or not.
Yeah.
Based off of what we see.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And I guess you kind of get that in a real jury selection.
Exactly.
You don't get all the information about somebody.
Yeah. You got to
Especially
make
nowadays.
an educated guess.
Religion, I don't think anybody's really going to say what they are.
No. And I don't think it's as big of an issue then.
Sure.
But back then, it was so tied to politics, and this was a political trial.
Right.
So.
Very cool. Okay, so what was your inspiration behind this game? Where did you find this story?
Well, I wanted to make. I like card-driven games. You know,
Okay.
that's what got me into board gaming. Is Washington's War. You know, back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's it was called We the People back then.
Okay.
But that was the very first card-driven game, and I loved that. I played the heck out of it. And so I like card-driven games, but they're only really in war games.
Right.
You know, it hasn't branched out into something else. And I thought, what trial makes sense to make that into a card-driven game? It plays quick because you're playing cards after jury selection. You can play a card either for event or for like your operation actions.
Okay.
And so you can play it in different ways. So it's tough decision making, and it seemed right for a trial. And then I set on I wanted to do a trial. But then Louis Riel's the only capital case in history really where there's only 6 jurors.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't want to have 12 jurors make it too unwieldy when we're actually playing the game.
Right.
Too much things to keep track of. So we got 12 out here. We're actually going to strike 6, and we're going to have a jury only of 6
Okay.
for the actual game, the trial in chief.
Very interesting. So, question about the cards here.
Yeah.
When I play a card, is it gone from the game, or will it ever reshuffle?
It will reshuffle. So after jury selection, you've got 7. 2 you're actually banking right away for the final round for like closing arguments.
Okay.
Because it's like you've got to have a trial strategy from the get-go. And so you're going to bank 2, and then the 5 you spend, they're going to get reshuffled in for the trial in chief.
Okay.
Because it's like then the witnesses testifies. We're just really
Gotcha.
kind of using them for.
Very cool. So, one last thing about this is a 1-on-1 game like this,
Yeah.
a 2-player, not a war game, but a back
Yeah.
and forth trial game.
Yeah.
Would you ever see this getting out of hand for somebody? Have you ever seen that in a playtest where one person just runs away with it?
No.
Maybe through the luck of jury picking?
No. You're not going to just run away with it because, there's always ways to kind of come back in. So even let's say you've got a great jury that's all English Protestants. Mm-hmm. That means just in the trial, you need to focus on swaying the English Protestants.
I gotcha.
So you may be at a slight disadvantage for the defense, but
Okay.
you're not out of it.
Excellent. This game looks awesome.
Yeah.
And is this your first game?
This is my first published game. Yeah.
Wow, very good. And how long did this take you to make?
I mean, it took a long time. I mean, I've been working on it probably since 2012.
Okay.
So we're like.
And
4
what drew
years.
you to Victory Point?
Victory Point, they take unusual titles. They
Sure.
can see the value. There's a lot of companies there that'll do zombies or, the Wild West or space.
Oh, yeah.
And Victory Point, they'll take an unusual theme because they can see the value in that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now I also noticed that this game is the Gold Banner game.
Yes.
Was there any reason for this one being a Gold Banner over some of the other games, or?
I think it's just such a great system here that they wanted to make it the high quality
Oh
Gold
yeah.
Banner style.
Well, and their Gold Banner
Yeah.
chits are
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate it, Alex. This game looks great. We're gonna have to give it a run through later.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.